You've all lived or known of Parna, that is in the kingdom of Falrinda, that is in the continent of Kalreiga, and you've all been doing your normal routines, your activities. You've been seeking adventure, getting into trouble, traveling, figuring out life. Whether you just arrived, whether you've been here for a while, your whole life. A few days ago, though, each of you have had a man in dark robes claiming to come from one of the citadels in the temple district. He's come to you wearing silver triangle symbols, and he has approached you, either at home or wherever he has found you. He has sought you out. He's informed you that your presence has been requested on the first of the summer of Vale by Satine, the head master of the temple. Somewhat reluctant, you were each given 100 silver pieces that you can add to your inventory to secure your arrival on that day in that location. So you waited a few days, put together some preparations to leave, not knowing really why your presence was being requested, and eventually made your way to the appropriate place. So the sun rises on the first of summer in what is known as the Summer of Vale, which is the season of summer in this world. So the sun rises in the east. The summer has arrived. You wake up, you hear the birds chirping, you hear the town start to bustle as you start your trek towards the citadel district in where the temples to the various deities reside. And the city starts to wake up, and the day in Parna is starting. It doesn't take you very long until you, even if you started on the outskirts of the city, it is still morning when you arrive where you have been requested. You arrive and you approach this large temple, and you can see that it has a silver triangle carved on these three large pillars that stand, that people can pass between, as there's this open courtyard with just a few worshipers, citizens, people starting their business, starting their morning routines in this temple. A couple of dedicated places and shrines, and you can see this large courtyard. There's, as you show up, you can just kind of feel this presence around you. But you are met by the man who made your acquaintance a few days ago. Very few words are had, as he simply acknowledges your presence, turns, and leads you deeper into the complex, past this courtyard, into a couple of rooms indoors, and he ushers you into a small chamber. It is well lit. There's a table. There's a few chairs. The man kind of makes a motion for you to sit, and he shuts the door. You can see a couple of artifacts, a couple of pedestals. There's the table. It's lit with candles. There's books, and you're kind of just allowed to peruse as you wait. So Chitter, Xanfalcon, and Berwelf, you all find that you kind of arrive at the same time, within minutes of each other, but you didn't see each other on the way in. So you guys are kind of in the room, and you give each other the appropriate kind of nods, and then eventually, within about 30 minutes, you all enter this room, and so you are all together around this table, and just given instructions to wait. So at this time, if you would like to kind of give a description of your character, because a lot of people really like that. If you want to just describe your character, and then you guys can just talk to each other.
So you've probably seen the drawings of Chitter, but you notice he's about 5'3". He is a kenku, so he's covered in feathers pretty much, except for his legs. He doesn't have wings, but he has feathered fingers. And you exchange hellos, and you notice that his voice is kind of weird because it sounds really raspy, and he repeats hello, hello over and over, and like sounds like something that wouldn't come out of his body, like a lady's voice or something.
Xanfalcon is a human male medium-sized, about 5'9", about 123 pounds. He's about 20 years old. His eyes are blue. He's got light to fair skin and auburn hair. You notice that he's well tailored, a bit charming in the way that he speaks, and walks almost as if in rhythm, kind of to the world, kind of almost a dance-like walk. But whenever he stops, he's very poised. He's kind of, average height, slightly underweight, but not like emaciated or malnourished. You could see that he probably, eats when he can. Sometimes maybe not so well received. Sometimes just randomly staring off into nothingness, just kind of mouth agape and just, not really there, kind of oblivious to the world sometimes. But he's really cute.
Berwelf Winter is half elf, around 25, about 5'10", tannish skin, blonde hair. Had not a rough upbringing, but like a troubling upbringing. Always was getting into trouble, and always standing on the outside of the group, kind of looking around. Don't know whether he can be helpful or trustworthy at certain times. But yeah.
Chad is a dwarf, young dwarf. He's in his early 20s. Former soldier, left because of didn't agree with policy. He left the guard to become just an adventurer. It's not much on talking with people. He's not very charismatic at all, but he's very loyal to the people he hangs out with.
So Enna is a half elf. She's about 6 feet tall. She has coppery skin and green hair. She's also a bit standoffish. She basically grew up in the forest, hunting and trapping with her human father until he died of old age. And she's about 84 years old, which in human terms would be in her 40s-ish. But she's much more comfortable in the forest and around animals than with people. So.
Guess that leaves me. All right. So, Xynes is a human, but from the humans you've seen around here, she's got a slightly different look. Like, she's not from this area. But at the same time, she's just a simple girl. There's nothing that stands out about her. I mean, she's a face that can get lost in a crowd very easily. She's about 5'4", 115 pounds. She has green eyes. Her skin is lightly tanned from her travels. And she keeps her hair up in a tight little bun on the back of her head with some loose strands to hang around. But, yeah, I guess that's Xynes.
Do you guys share any words as you all kind of enter the same chamber together?
Yeah, I look at Chitter and I'm like, yo, you look familiar. Not specifically yo, but just try to interact and say that I've seen him somewhere.
And I turn around, and on my back is a backpack with squeak squeak in it.
Yeah, squeak squeak.
And that's a rodent of unusual size. It's a big old mouse that's in a little papoose on my back, which is weird. So there's a bird carrying around a mouse.
I go up and initiate a greeting to Chitter, and at the same time, of course, want to bid the squeak squeak hello, give him a little treat, and check up on, see how Chitter's been doing with the animal handling and making sure everything's copacetic. Give a quick little check up on squeak squeak, play with his tail, something like that.
Yeah, he looks much better because you guys basically roughed him up and then you fed him food, and kind of after the last couple of days, Chitter has kind of nursed it back to health, which has really kind of bonded their friendship after basically beating it within an inch of its life, and then feeding it very, very kindly and taking care of its wounds. So he looks much better and not as savage, although you're not sure if he still has rabies or not.
Is that something I can do a checkup on? Kind of give him a good once-over?
You can make a medicine check, sure.
Oh, goodness. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, the first rule is going to be a medicine check on the rat. I love it. Yeah, you're not. I mean, you kind of check him over, and if you're looking like specifically for venereal diseases and rabies, I mean, he's a rat, so you're not too sure, but it's
no foaming of the mouth.
No, not right now. I mean, he looks fine. He's a giant rat in a backpack, just kind of like. But I mean, he doesn't nibble at your hand or anything.
Okay.
Chad notices that everybody knows each other in this and is very suspicious of everyone and wonders if he's in the right place.
Yeah, Xynes is just she's kind of looking over everybody. She's got like big like doe in the headlights look, but like they're just curious. Like she's just like wondering why she's here, who everybody is, and could this be a trap? Who knows?
Well, as you the three that have met each other or made acquaintances, and everyone just kind of gives this vibe of unsuredness. The door slams open, and the cloaked figure stands there looking at all of you, and he says, "Please, come," and makes a complete 180. Do you follow him?
I follow, but I'll make sure I'm like the last to leave if everybody else is following.
In my stupor, I quickly gather my things and trot forward, head of the pack, trying to get through the door, kind of stupidly, but yet very eager and energetic.
I immediately get up and go to the door.
Chitter has nothing better to do.
Yeah, Xynes will kind of grab her quarterstaff that she uses as like a walking stick and kind of follow along with everybody.
Okay.
Enna
So
follows as well.
you're what?
Enna follows as well.
Excellent. So you are shown as a group through a few corridors, and eventually you hit this very large room that opens up. The ceiling is very tall. The walls are adorned with these candelabras that are all lit, so it's very well lit. There's a long table, and you can see there are many different various foods and drink, almost as though there's a feast taking place that hasn't taken place yet. And you can see down this long table there are many scholars, and it looks like acolytes, and they're all in these dark robes with the same symbol on them, and they all kind of turn their head to you. Not in sync or anything, nothing creepy, but they all just kind of make their way as you enter, and you're shown past most of them to the head of the table, where there is a tall man who kind of gets out of his seat, and he stands and he says, "Welcome, guardians," or should I say, future guardians. And so you are shown to take a seat. There are 6. 3 on each side of the table, places that are actually brought out, and you're motioned to sit.
Xynes will kind of just like cock her head to the side a little bit, just out of like curiosity, but she'll take the closest seat to her.
Chad will try to take the seat where he can see the entrance to the room with his back towards as little as possible.
Yeah, so as you enter the room, the table is basically parallel with you. So it's long down the room. You look down it, and you're shown to the far side of it. So the place where you came in, you're sitting far from it, but you can see it easily, and there's not many openings behind you.
That's the one.
Xanfalcon just rushes forward, just grabs an empty chair, sits down next to a scholar, and just reaches over and starts to grab food.
Berwelf takes the nearest seat, and are there like goblets on the table holding the drinks and stuff?
Yeah, they're filled. They're filled goblets.
Well, I take the goblet, dump it out, and put it in my backpack.
Are you trying to conceal this, or are you doing this openly?
No, I'm doing it openly.
Okay, so one of the acolytes sitting right next to you goes ahead and gives you just this. Is there a reason that you're taking that?
It's okay. I'm a future guardian. This is for me.
Make a deception roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll the new dice for the first time. We'll see what happens.
It's red. I don't know what that means.
That means he rolled a natural 1.
Red is a critical failure.
And the funny thing is, Dreav, I rolled a natural 17.
No, just Gabby, natural 1s will appear in red, and then it just adds your modifier, so that's the extra number. And then natural 20s will appear in green, and it will still add your modifier. So
Cool.
green is good, red is bad.
He's not even good at stealing.
Okay, so
By the way, Boom, this is for that roll.
The 17s have started.
yeah, so as you say your reasoning, and give, because you're not even sure what that means yet, he kind of maybe it'd be best to put it back.
I put the goblet back on the table and just glare at the acolyte.
Okay, he stares you down as well because you look like a thief now.
I'm gonna just chill, take a seat, whatever. I'm gonna grab some grapes and start putting them over my shoulder.
Okay, nice.
I sit next to the weird bird man because I've never seen anything like that before.
How you doing?
Just for giggles, since all of our characters on the map, can we like put our characters where? Because I know you said there's like 3 seats on one side, 3 on the other. Can we just put them so we know who's sitting next to who? Like I know.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just so I can see.
So we'll make that the table, basically. And so there's the man here, and then down here is where basically everyone else is sitting. It's a long table. So we'll switch you sides, Xanfalcon, so that Enna can be next to Chitter.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, it was just for visualization purposes. I appreciate it.
Okay, so as you guys begin eating, or trying to steal things, whatever you're doing, eating, drinking, making conversation, if any, the older man with he has elf-like features, long white hair, the pointy nose, and the pointy ears, but his face just kind of screams like warmness to you. Like he's got just the friendliest of faces. He stands from the head of the table, and as you starting just to kind of figure out what's going on, not sure of what the title of Guardian means, he speaks again. Come and eat. Today is a glorious day for Parna and for yourselves. I'm sure that you have many, many questions, but let me first start, and then you may ask. For I am Master Satine. I am the overseer here at the temple. And I'll cut to the chase because some of you look a bit impatient. This temple, and he kind of gives a big sweeping arcing, this temple is dedicated to Rivorhu, who has told me of your arrival. And many years ago, during the great struggle in Kalreiga, Parna was home to many dedicated worshippers to Rivorhu. As you know, this city is heavily under his protection, care, and influence as a spoil of the Millennium War. Rivorhu has been very good to us, and his grace is abounding. There's a tradition that roots back past the war, where Revorhu would choose 6 champions every century to fight, do his bidding, from beyond the Divine Gate where he currently resides. Some of those champions did not accept Revorhu's request and suffered a terrible fate. Some went on to do great things for Parna. There are still some alive to this day, I believe. But over the years, as you know, there has been peace in the kingdom, and this is where you come in. For a long line and history of Guardians precedes you in the struggle to please and do justice for Revorhu. His charges to the Guardians are secret and have been various throughout the many years. The Guardians are the protectors. They are the defenders of Parna. It'll be your job to seek out justice, to keep balance from beyond the shadows, for the Guardians are not positions of power. They're not to be exploited, to be paraded. And he already gives you a look, Berwelf, as he's kind of saying this. He's kind of looking straight down at you, almost like you would, a small child. But he continues. Although the city is very aware of the Guardians' presence, however, the Guardians have faded into legend, for many do not believe Parna still needs aid after these 500 years of peace. There have been no Guardians for these 500 years, as Revorhu has not apparently had a need for champions. But we are not to question Revorhu, but to do as he wills. But now, you, 6, are the first set of Guardians to be chosen after this long gap, history, and tradition. There must be a need rising, and you have been chosen to fill it, whether you are from Parna, whether you have traveled here. He is in need of your service, and if you accept, you will be his until death. I am but a humble servant. My job will be to train and prepare you for whatever Revorhu's charge is. Do you have any questions?
Can I insight check him?
Absolutely.
13.
No, with a 13, as he's speaking, he looks as though he has really prepared this speech, as though he has been awaiting you a long time, and no matter who kind of walked through the door, this is what he was going to say. And so he's very prepared and he's very elegant, but you can also kind of see, as you're kind of trying to read him and trying to read the other acolytes, they seem to be very interested in what he's saying, almost as though they know what he's going to say, but they're giving him the respect. It doesn't seem fishy.
Berwelf kind of like kicks his legs back up and put him on the table, and I wave the empty goblet in the air, and I ask for a refill. That was my only question.
There are pitchers on the table.
I stare at the acolyte next to me and ask him to refill my drink.
I believe you can do that yourself.
Stare at him reluctantly, then that goes it for me.
I'm just gonna shake my head in his general direction.
Can that guy come with us? No questions from Chitter.
Chad will say, you speak of Master Satine's justice. What does that mean?
Well, I am Master Satine, but Revorhu has justice beyond any justice. He seeks goodness in the world. He seeks for Parna to delight him. He would like to have almost guardianship over the realm, and he is unable to do so as he is not present or among us, even though we worship him, and thus you are needed to be the hands and feet of Revorhu.
What would he do with his guardianship?
Well, your guardianship may instill a charge. You'll be charged with this or that, and once you complete it, then you will continue to be Garna's guardians, protectors. Anything that happens that does not seek the will of Parna will be your business.
Kind of mid-chew, food kind of hanging out the mouth. Xanfalcon's like, well, why'd you pick us?
Oh, well, I did not pick you. That was Revorhu. We are simply here to do as he tells us. So you were all chosen for reasons unknown to me, and we were simply to get you and give you this information.
Xanfalcon's still on the defensive, is more like, well, if he's not among us, then how did he tell you? He didn't tell me anything.
Quite right. If you had heard something before being chosen, that would have been very particular. But he tells me, usually, in an audible voice.
Do you normally hear voices?
Just his.
What's he sound like?
Well, now that would be a secret, wouldn't it?
He just goes on chewing like, oh, okay.
To further answer your question, dwarf, Revorhu is god of the humble, and those that do not seek to be in the world, or to have the pleasures of the world, will be under his guidance. If there are no more questions, let me continue to talk about your training, which will begin shortly. The training of the Guardians is centered on 5 trials. You will be given your first, depending on how you succeed. The others will come afterward. By accepting the first trial, you show Revorhu your willingness. Each trial, you will gain strength on your quest to complete whatever charge is given to you. You must look to each other for strength when it does not show itself presently. You must embrace the city, continue to learn about it, as you are now its protectors and keepers. Each trial will prove its own challenge, with its own goals, its own requests. Your training will instill in you the necessary skills and abilities needed to live up to your new destiny. Only upon earning the rightful name, and he looks at you again, Berwelf, the rightful name of Guardians, and bestowing a proper name among yourself, will you be ready to fully do Revorhu's will. Now, if you are ready, your first trial awaits.
Will there be payment?
Now, that is a particular question. Usually one who enters into a deity's request doesn't ask for payment. I'm sure you can take that up with the god himself, but I'm sure there are various ways that you can make a little money while doing the will of your new deity.
Well, I'm not doing anything else, so okay.
Xanfalcon looks over at Berwelf and holds up a goblet and kind of nods it to him and just kind of mocks the whole payment thing and then dumps out his drink and puts it in his backpack.
Are you trying to hide it?
Sure. I'll roll
Okay.
a deception.
No, you get to roll a sleight of hand.
Oh, I'll roll sleight of hand too. I'll roll it all. And I fell so miserably.
Yeah, so as you go ahead and you grab the gauntlet, or the chalice, there's more liquid in it than you remember, because you thought you emptied it. And as you do that, you basically spray Chad in the face, and then you start to stuff it in your backpack. And Satine looks at you. Are you trying to steal from us as well?
I persuade him that I'm not, that I merely wanted to see the dimensions inside my backpack and how it fit, to see how I could possibly stow goblets in the future for transport, of course.
Do you take it out after that?
No, God, no.
Okay, go ahead. Now you can roll a persuasion.
Yo, the rolls are bad.
I know.
They need
So
the training.
So he looks at you, gives you a long, hard look. How about you put it back?
All right, reluctantly, I grab it, put it back, and then grab some more food and stuff it in my backpack.
Okay, he has no qualms if you like taking the food for later, but when you're trying to like steal the nice silver goblets, then he has a quarry.
Well, I mean, he said we were going to get paid, so I was just trying to get paid. I was trying to get something.
I go along with the theme, and I just pick up the goblet. I empty it down my mouth, and then I just say, "I need this," and I put it in my backpack.
You can make a persuasion roll as well. So you go, I need this, and you just stuff it in your backpack, and he looks at you and goes, very well then.
I'm just gonna give up on my quest on getting that goblet now that everybody else wants one.
Yeah, but a couple of us have failed, and the dwarf with the -2 modifier succeeded.
He rolled a 6 on his insight check. So Satine, after you have this various exchanges of trying to take what isn't yours, and the dwarf succeeding. Yeah, go ahead.
So if you're done with stealing goblets, Chitter would like to do something. So throughout this whole speech, Chitter's been taking notes and shiz. Obviously something's weird with his voice. He's not communicating very well, but he does pull out his journal and start journaling, and he calls Satine over, and he opens up his book, and it says, how long would we be expected to do this?
Well, that is a very detailed question. My bird friend, if I can call you that, for I do not know. Usually, sometimes the training can take days, sometimes it can take months, but depending on the charge from Revolhu himself, as I said, you will be in his dedication for the rest of your life.
And do we have to stay in Parna?
That is a very good question, one that I cannot answer now. Upon some meditation and talking to Revolhu, I could let you know. Because what you're asking me, and you're like scribbling all this down, right?
Right.
So what you're asking is if you must stay in Parna for the rest of your life?
Yes.
That I am not sure of. Revolhu may have need for you elsewhere, but that is not up to me for now.
At this time, after seeing the exchanges with the stealing of the goblets, and her talking, he said that the training was ready, so Xynes is just gonna get up out of her seat, push it back in quietly, and then just start heading towards the door.
And at this time, Satine is starting to head towards the door, kind of motioning for you to stop eat, because you've had plenty of time to eat and drink and attempt to steal things. So he's going to start to walk next to you, Xynes, and head towards the door as well.
Before Xanfalcon finishes getting up and heads to the door himself, he's going to try to squirrel away enough food to make at least a day's ration out of it.
Yeah, you can easily just because there's plenty of food, and as you've been eating, so have the rest of the acolytes and everyone, kind of the everyone that has assembled. They've been eating and discussing as well. So
now, when is Xynes and I forget his name.
Xanfalcon?
No, not Xanfalcon.
Satine.
Satine. Is all the acolytes following? Or are they still like lingering?
No, so he gets up to take you, and they all just kind of continue eating, and they aren't really going with you.
Okay, then I reluctantly go towards the door as I stare at the goblet that I wanted.
I get up, I start following, and I mumble that I just know that the first day is going to be a puppet show from HR about sexual harassment.
Okay. I take it the rest of you kind of start to head as well.
I'm gonna grab a ration, like at least one. And I don't know if we add that or whatever, but we could do that later.
Yeah, I'm a little wary of the whole, dedicating your whole life, but I go along.
Can I speak to Chad, since he was kind of like since he was walking up behind me? I'm gonna speak to him in Dwarvish so that nobody else can hear us or understand us, and just be like, do you have any idea what's going on here?
Absolutely nothing. Just some guy told me to come here, and I wasn't doing anything anyway, so why not? Free food, right?
Okay, because that's pretty much what happened to me, and I don't know what's going on, so just gonna play it cool. Just play it cool.
Let's just watch each other's backs.
Yeah, I got you.
At this time, Xanfalcon, he speaks up in Dwarvish as well and says, "Yeah, I can be pretty cool."
We got your back as well.
Enna speaks up as well because she knows Dwarvish and says that was kind of my plan too. Just cool.
That was real smooth. Real smooth.
I love this.
It was awesome.
I'm gonna look over to Berwelf and look at him. Do you? That's not you two, is it? I can't be the only one.
I look at Chitter and Coo cluelessly.
Cool.
Okay.
Find out who speaks what language. That was excellent.
As you guys have this interaction with each other, so perfect. Satine leads you from the table back out the door that you came, but not quite the same way, as he takes a small tunnel to the right, and you all kind of end up about single file. As you kind of begin down a long corridor that starts to snake, you feel yourself descending slower into the earth. You can definitely are dropping in altitude. After about 10 minutes of this conversation, and things just kind of fall kind of silent as he's not really speaking, you come up. It opens a little bit so you can kind of stand in a small cluster, and Satine stops at a large barred door. You can he has a torch out, so you can see, all of you can see. And he says, below here are the dark tunnels. Their use is always as the first trial for the future guardians of Parna. Their contents are unknown, for I and the other people of Revorhu, those who worship here and help me, the other masters, we are not allowed to enter. There may be many a monster, many a trap, or otherwise. However, I can assure you that we have not specifically laid anything out for you. However, it has been a long time since the last Guardians have passed through here, and your task is twofold. We unfortunately lost them, the last Guardians, to this trial, and they did not move past it. This may be why Revorhu was reluctant to choose again. But again, I only speculate. So now, the danger lies ahead. You must retrieve the 6 magical items that we gave the last Guardians to aid in their quest. These are now yours to find and to keep. There will be 6, and they will most likely still accompany the bodies. Anything else that you find down there is yours to keep and aid you in your future adventures as a group of guardians that you are working. He looks at you, Berwelf, working together for the greater good of the group. Beware that not all of the dark tunnels need being explored, only what is necessary to complete your quest. The second part is to find Revolhu's sanctum that lies deep inside the dark tunnels. You will be led there from deep within yourselves, and will find the way. Search deep inside, follow the beat of the path. That is how much I can tell you. After you find his sanctum, I believe things will make much, much more sense. When you are finished with the tasks, you can return through this door. Be careful, work together, and good luck. Revolhu be with you. He proceeds to unbar the door and push it open, and he allows you to walk through. As you walk through, he keeps the torch. Those of you without dark vision are now in complete darkness. Those of you with can see. Even if you only have low light vision, there's no light, so you cannot see. You do hear the door slam behind you, and you hear it being barred. And so those of you with dark vision, you can see that you are in kind of a large cavern. It's kind of been dug out. There is a tunnel to the northern side of where you currently reside, and there is a tunnel to the south. Two faint tunnels. As you investigate just a little further, with not really going anywhere yet, but just getting a sense of where you're at, you do see some carvings on the wall that appear to be left.
Xynes is gonna produce flame in her hand and keep it there for light, since she cannot see a damn thing.
Does that that doesn't really tell a like if you just do that, it doesn't say how much light you would get, right?
The flame sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. It lasts 10 minutes, so if we're traveling along, I'm just gonna keep recasting it, just so you know.
That's basically a cantrip.
It is a cantrip.
I'll let you do that because you can't see, and some of your compatriots can't see, so that's fine by me.
And it is a green flame.
Excellent.
Green flame.
You said there was markings or on the wall?
Yeah, there
Can
is.
we see them from, if we're in the middle of the chamber, can we see that far? Or how far is the room? How deep is it?
The cavern itself, as you kind of just start to inspect it, because it's pretty large, without going too far, you see 3 carvings near the northern tunnel, and you see 3 separate carvings near the southern tunnel.
Can I go inspect the ones on the northern tunnel?
Yes.
That's what I'd like to do.
Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Okay.
Nice natural 20. Good job,
Where was
Cooge.
that roll when I wanted the goblet? I get a 1 and I get a 20. Really?
So as you go up and start to kind of get the dust away and things, you see the 3 symbols. The first looks like a cross with an X. So it's basically a cross and an X in between it. The second is a heart. And the third kind of looks like a person in a bed.
Okay.
I guess I'll check out the southern carving.
I'll stick with the little dwarf friend, and I'll go over with him with the light, even though he really doesn't need it.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation roll as well. So they're pretty easy to see as you kind of spend some time wiping the cavern, and the cavern walls. I mean, it's a cave, so they're rock, they're hard rock. They're not very wet. They're dry, but you can see these carvings have been here for a while. You find what is kind of like a 3/4 of a wheel. So it's not a full wheel, but it's like 3/4 of a wheel. You find a chest carving, and then you find what looks like bars with an arrow running through them.
I feel around the chest one just to see if there's any buttons or anything on it.
Yeah, so you kind of feel it, just kind of do a couple of, feeling, and you don't really find any buttons. It's just a carving on a wall.
Okay, but is it next to, you said north side, south side. Are there exits from here near there?
So as you continue to look in the cavern, you have the cavern around you. You have the door behind you that Satine has barred, that you can continue to check out if you would like. But then you have the south tunnel and the north tunnel with the carvings. So you see two ways, and then so you're kind of at there's nowhere else to go. There's just the path A and path B, and the door behind you.
The carvings on the north side dictate what's going to the north, and the south side south. That's pretty obvious, I think.
That's what we'd probably assume.
Yeah, are
Okay.
there? Oh, you can go ahead.
Well, you have a question, so you go first, because I was going to do an action.
Okay, I was just gonna ask: are there any kind of like tiles or stones, like as like a paved way in any certain direction, or is it all just kind of like gravel and?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you kind of look down the tunnel, you can see it's all rock. So basically, it looks like these tunnels have been carved almost by something, possibly. So it's not as much gravel, but it's definitely not tiled. And it's just a large tunnel, about, I would say, 15 feet by 15 feet.
All right. You can go ahead again.
Yeah, so I'm going to head over to where the light source is. And I'm looking at these carvings with them, and I see the chest, and I see that chest, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Chest. That speaks my language. So, in a guard's voice, because I've been around a lot of guards throwing people in prison, I'm going to yell, half elf.
Berwelf
Yes.
cocks his head and turns that Chitter and is like, kind of slightly offended. It's like, you need something?
Well, Enna's also a half elf, so.
Oh,
Yep.
my fault.
Cass, did you want to say something?
I said yes.
So I kind of wave him over.
I come over towards Chitter and everybody else is gathered.
So I kind of, I at least elbow Berwelf, because I know he's into the money. And I point at this chest. Like,
Without hesitation, I go forward onto the path. After getting the message of the treasure chest.
Okay, so marching orders. So Berwelf's going in first.
Before they go down the hall, I want to kind of just like get their attention. Guys, if we look at the wall, it's like essentially a Pac-Man symbol, a Pac-Man. I'm not saying that, but that's how I'm describing it for now. Then there's the chest, and then there's bars with arrows, with an arrow going through it. That I would think would mean trap or something of the like.
and I'm going to grab Enna's quiver and shake it and be like, we got arrows. We're good.
We're good. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Sure. You could stay here.
So the only one I've really talked to was Chad. I would be like, is this the way we're going?
I'm good with it. We got to start somewhere. Might as well be here.
So, Chitter, did you open the chest?
It's a carving of a chest on the wall, and I think that in what I'm receiving is that the chest is going to be down this tunnel, because there's two tunnels. On this tunnel, there's a carving, so I'm going to go down the tunnel with the money.
And I look at Chitter and I kind of coo as like our little like, yeah, we're gonna go get some. We're gonna go
Was that
get some.
Is that like people who don't know Italian that just throw A's and O's at the end of English words?
Yeah.
Go, go, go! That's offensive, but I can't tell him not to do it, so
You could smack him upside the head every time he does it.
get the mouse
Or
to
like
bite him.
Or like my mother who learned sign language but didn't learn it well, and so she would make things up.
That's amazing. Okay, so I guess since I have a light source, I'll be one of the people up front.
Okay, you guys are going into the south tunnel then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Xanfalcon's still just stumbling around in the darkness, failing to produce lighting of any means. He is slowly attracted to the dim glow further away from the group, but heads towards the tunnel as well, kind of following suit, but definitely towards the end of everybody.
I'll go more towards the front. I have dark vision. I can see.
Same. I'm ahead with that as well.
Okay, so Enna, Chitter, and Xanfalcon are near the back. The back.
The back.
Seems that way.
Okay, so as you enter the southern tunnel, you only get about 10 feet, and there's a split. You guys can see to the left there is an opening. You can see that it kind of opens up, and to the right the tunnel continues.
By opening, do you mean like opening to like light in the outside world, or?
No. So
Another tunnel.
it's like there's like a pocket. There's like a pocket room that it looks like, and Berwelf, from where you stand, you can see at the back edge there does appear to be something near the wall.
Out towards the back wall, inside the pocket.
Yeah.
Is there a way for me to like kind of check out the room before actually entering into it, in case?
Yeah,
like, there
you
might be
can
some
you can
kind
kind of get up to the entrance of it and make a perception check.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
So from what you can gather, you kind of step up to it without really entering anywhere, and you can see just at the back there is a body, and it has a spike through it. It's basically a skeleton now, and there is some items next to it.
So I turn and look at the group, and I kind of say like, hey, that might be one of the guardians that had passed in these tunnels. Like, we should probably go check out the body and see if there's anything on it. Maybe one of the gifts or something.
That guy got like 12 feet.
Yeah.
He rolled poorly.
So you're entering the cavern then?
Yeah.
Which is this to the left or to the right? Sorry.
This is, as you enter, then it's to the left.
Yeah, the right continues on, but I do enter inside.
I watch from the door, or
Same.
where he was.
Xanfalcon, just rushes past everybody and kind of catches up to the back of Cooge here, and wants to go with Berwelf to investigate further. He's always curious.
Yeah. I was the one who stitched in the first place. I want the money, so I'm going to the front too.
Okay, so as you guys kind of enter, I will say, go ahead and no, never mind. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So who's staying towards the back?
I think me and Chad were staying at the door.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll guard the door.
And Enna's staying at the door too.
Okay.
Or are you?
So, are you still towards the back, Enna? Okay. So as you guys kind of stand there and you watch the rest kind of bolt past you, you kind of take a look at the kind of the side of the wall before you enter, and you see another carving, and it is the bars with the arrow running through it. Would you say, Chitter?
It's a booby trap.
But you don't see this because you ran past towards the loot.
You're not wrong.
Am I able to do an investigation check like halfway through, or am I already at the body?
I mean, you didn't see it.
Oh yeah.
What you see is two spikes jutting through the wall. One of them has a skeleton, and then there's loot next to him.
Oh, so is he like hung up on the wall, and there's spikes coming through him, or is he on the ground?
Right. But then there's a pile of stuff next to him.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, I want to go and check out the pile of stuff next to him, not trying to avoid the body and the spikes as much as possible in case something were to happen.
Okay. How close to the pile are you getting?
I would say I want to be like 5 feet off at this point.
Okay. So as you, Xanfalcon, and Chitter get up to kind of examine the loot, you find, so you're going through it, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, so you find a scroll of protection. So you guys divvy this up among yourselves. You find a scroll of protection. You find a key that has a spider engraved on it. And you find a extra large quiver that has about 50 arrows in it.
All right. Well, I take the quiver arrows and put them on my back so that I can give them to Enna when I get back to the door.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna motion towards my quiver on my back and put my hand out for some of them arrows.
Well, I'll give half of them to Chitter.
Okay. So you give Chitter 25 arrows, and the extra large still has 25 in it.
I reach over and grab the key and just kind of twirl it in my fingers on my hand, just stare at it, and as I'm doing that, you notice the key stops turning but is no longer in sight, and it has now deposited itself in my backpack.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Do you have something, Xynes? Oh, okay. So,
She's holding that flame.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Sorry.
And there's still a scroll of protection. Who's next to me at this point? Is it still Chitter? And...
Listen, I don't think the protection scroll worked.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got a spike through him. Apparently, he didn't use it.
You can have it.
I kind of look back towards the door and kind of like wave the scroll of protection in my hand, like, "Hey, does anybody want this?
This is the only thing we found."
Anybody want this scroll?"
I'm not good at reading.
All right. Well, I take the scroll for myself then at that point.
Okay. Go ahead and add all those things to your inventories. And if you're giving the quiver over to Enna, she can add that as well.
Yeah, I'm giving the quiver to Enna.
As they're walking out, I'm gonna go ahead and take the flame and start walking towards the other passage on the right, and I want to kind of like keep an eye out on the wall for any more drawings, making a mental note that we just passed one of the symbols already, so I'm just keeping track.
Okay, so as you kind of turn around, the party is now starting to follow you. Chad, I take it are you going to follow Xynes?
Yes.
Enna, you're near the back. Are you going to follow them as well then? Okay, so we'll kind of invert the party then as you guys continue then away. Go ahead.
As I'm still in the room but heading towards to head back out, can I search the area to see if there's a extra unlit torch or other means of mechanical light?
Investigation check.
Alrighty.
You look around the room and you do not see a torch or any mechanical way of lighting anything.
Not even in the skeleton's loot pile?
Not even in the skeleton's loot pile.
Taking off one of his his arms or something.
Yeah, can I take off a leg and wrap it in his cloth that has rotted away and light it up?
Sure.
So I have me a bone torch.
Yep. So you and Xynes are now emitting light that most people can see about 10-foot radius, and those with dark vision can still see past that.
Okay.
So Xynes, as you exit the cavern and start to make your way further into the dark tunnels, making a note if there are any carvings on the wall, you do see a chest symbol and a wheel symbol coming up. And as you continue through the tunnel, it kind of banks to the left a little bit. You see another offshoot, or another tunnel that basically there's a split, one to the right and one to the left. But to the right, you can see there is the wheel. So I misspoke. You see the wheel and you see the bars and the arrow going to the right.
Okay. I'll just kind of like relay that back to everybody.
You said the path split again. Is that what you said?
Yeah, from where she is at, she can tell that the path splits left and right.
So left is chest symbol, and then right is the bar and wheel symbol?
No, I misspoke. There's no
Okay.
chest symbol because it was from, I had it in a different spot
No
from
worries.
beginning.
So
No,
to the
she
right
can see
is...
to the right is the wheel and what we'll just now call the arrow. The wheel and the arrow are to the right.
Okay. And then to the left is still just continuing pathway?
Correct.
Can I kind of... Go ahead.
I was just gonna make an inquiry about the symbol. Go ahead.
I was just going to see if there was any more things that we could perceive about towards our right before we get in too deep.
From where you're at, not really, because the tunnels are kind of like 7 foot. They're really just enough to really be one person at a time. So the way you guys are kind of lined up, Xynes and Chad can start to figure things out, but from where you're at, you can't really see that far ahead yet.
Okay.
With regards to the symbol, because you said it was like a 3/4 circle, right? Like Pac-Man mouth, essentially. Is it still facing the same direction as it was when we saw it out there, or would the like open pie piece have changed directions?
Yeah, the orientation is the same.
Okay, I was just curious about that. And which direction is that missing chunk facing?
So if you were looking at a clock, it has spokes at noon, 3, 4.5, 6. So basically doesn't have spikes in the upper right quadrant.
Okay, so from like noon to 3 is where it's missing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Normally I'd go left, but I'm going to go right since the carvings are on the right. Now, I like to hang left wall in a dungeon, but it seems like right is where the fun is. So I go that way.
Okay, so you guys are going to the right.
Yeah, right sounds good.
What I'll go ahead and do is I'll let him pass me, and then I'll go like right next to him. Or if there's not enough room to walk 2 by 2, then I'll walk directly behind him since I'm a little bit taller than him.
Do the rest of you follow then?
I follow.
Okay. So as you guys start to go right, you go about 15 feet and you see another, basically a pocket where it has opened up. And do you guys all basically file into the room? Not really entering, but just kind of like so you can all see the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you do that, you can all basically see, those with dark vision can see the whole room. Those without can see a few bodies, as well as a pit. The rest of you with dark vision can see there are a lot of bodies in this whole room, and there's still just the one pit.
Now, is the pit like in the center of the room, the back wall, or how close is it to the door?
It's about 15 feet. So as you're looking straight on, the pit is down to the right, close to you, and there's bodies kind of everywhere.
The closest body to the party, or to me specifically, can I ascertain or perceive how he was, how he died, or it died, they died?
Perception. Anybody that wants to kind of look around the room, perception check.
Okay. Oh my god!
This is what happens when I don't roll up my dice on roll 20 first.
So many rolls. Okay, what time is it? Okay, that'll help me. That'll help me know when these rolls are happening. Okay, so a 15, a natural 1, an 8.
I rolled a
a
23.
2. Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
you did. Because you did the last roll. Okay. No, you're good. So everyone but Xynes can basically, you can ascertain there are 2 races here. You can see some lizard-like folk or kobolds, if you have ran into them before, and you also see some goblins. There's about an equal number of each, but they are all dead, and the closest one to you is a goblin, and you can see that the kobold that is basically adjacent to him, they just kind of died with their short swords in each other.
Okay. How's the body's conditioned? Well rotted, fairly fresh, you know?
Actually fairly fresh.
Interesting.
I don't want to be there.
It's got that new death smell.
Yay!
So you said the symbol is the pitfall symbol, correct? Or the arrow with the... What was the symbol that was on the
bars
outside?
with the arrow and the wheel? The Pac-Man?
Bars and Pac-Man symbol.
Is that what's on the outside of this door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm debating on whether to go in first or not.
Well, you're all kind of there, like on the outskirts, and that's all. That's what you see. Is you see the pit, you see these bodies that have all basically killed each other. That's what you see.
I perceive the carving as pie, and I don't see any pie, so I'm going to go in and look down the pit and see if there's pie.
I'm glad he went in first because I was debating on whether to go look in the pit or not.
Okay, so Chad, you kind of walk over and look down into the pit. You do not see any pie down there, sadly.
Is he able to see anything else?
No, the pit's very deep. Well, actually, within your dark vision, yeah, you see at the very, very bottom, you see a couple of bodies as well.
I have a quick question, because I know I failed that perception roll, but would somebody have told me that these bodies look new, or can I tell that these bodies, like, now look like they're freshly dead?
Yeah, upon first glance, you're like, oh, this is a great room. And then everybody's like, ugh. And you're like, oh.
Okay, because I'm just going to point out to the group, these look fresh, and they said that these doors had been sealed for the past 500 years. So something's not adding up here, guys.
Details.
Maybe they live here.
I walk into the room now that Chad has gone in first, and I kind of start like looking around the bodies and looking for anything valuable.
Okay. How far into the room do you go to loot some bodies?
Let's say 15 feet.
And are you staying around the pit and away from the pit?
Away from the pit.
Which way? Left, right, or back?
So the pit's on my right? Right?
Yeah.
Now I'll go towards the left.
Okay. Go ahead and make a dex save. Okay, so you start to kind of loot the bodies, and you're just kind of like walking, and then the ground under you starts to kind of shift a little bit, but you catch yourself, and as you do, this pit opens up, and all the rubble falls down, but you catch yourself on the edge.
Thank you, Jesus. Or wait, no, who's our new
Rivorhu.
Rivorhu? Thank you.
Thank you, Revor. Now, when you said it dropped out, was it just specifically where he was located, or did it have a wide-reaching effect of all the flooring in the room?
No. Yeah, it's just this one centralized area. The rest of you are just kind of standing at the entrance right now. So as he kind of goes in, this one spot just kind of falls.
Okay, I kind of point to him, and I point to the symbol showing the pie, the lying pie, we shall call it, and see if there's any correlation between the gap that's missing out of that versus the gap that's now missing out of the floor. And then just kind of stare off.
I hate to stab myself in the back, but I was next to the pit when that happened.
But you were next to the open pit? No. You were next to the open pit, and he started to trail off towards the left, and he opened a new pit. So so they weren't connected. No, you're good.
Cool.
So what you're saying is this room is a holy room? Hey, I'm an entertainer.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check, Cooge, and anyone else who's going to venture to help loot.
Gabby's got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to make a move, so just finish that.
From what you can kind of get, Berwelf, you kind of get through the bodies kind of quickly. You get about 15 copper pieces.
Sweet.
The rest of you, if you're going to continue, are you going over the whole room?
I'm gonna definitely check the goblin and kobold that was right nearest me, and maybe like a couple more feet in to the right.
Okay. X, you find about 25 gold pieces on both the bodies.
Okay.
Chad, Enna, and Xynes, how far are you guys going?
Not far in.
Okay. So you kind of do over the bodies that Berwelf checked as well. You get a little farther, but not too far, and you each find 6 gold pieces and 2 silver pieces. So that's Enna, Chad, and Xynes. You guys all find that as well.
Quick question: did we actually get the payout earlier of 100 silver pieces for our cost?
You did. That was in the story, but yeah, you should add that because you have that on your person.
Because I like to see the treasure gleam. Yeah.
And that's
Gotcha.
the SP in your bag.
Yep.
After I would have gotten it, after I would have started realizing there's probably nothing else to be had here and start going down the tunnel again.
Okay.
I'm gonna go as far out as anyone has gone far. Well,
Okay.
okay, so we can tell this is a pocket, or is this a room, like a tunnel?
From what you guys can venture to see and what others have seen, it is an encapsulated room. There's no exit.
Never mind.
Is there anything lying about other than the bodies now that we have ventured into the room some more? Anything else that we've discovered by rolling around bodies? No switches underneath bodies or anything of the nature?
Nope, just a bunch of dead bodies and some pits.
I tiptoe very carefully out the room to make sure no other pockets open up beneath me.
Okay.
I look up. Is there anything up?
As you kind of check over the ceiling, you don't see anything up there, no.
I take this time to be more entertaining. Everything's up for a dwarf. The dad jokes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you guys, as Xynes starts to exit, do you guys exit as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to hang back a little bit since I'm the other light source for those that don't have the dark vision, so I'm going to hang back.
I think it's just me and you who don't have dark vision. It's just me and you.
Well,
Me too. I have low light.
Chitter
Oh.
doesn't.
Well, then I'm going to hang around, Chatter. Check on my my pal Squeak, make sure he's copacetic. Try to tempt him with a little, maybe some Kalbo jerky from their skin or something. Make sure he's well fed.
Okay,
maybe-
and you kind of you take some off. You kind of cut it off, and he kind of he takes it and
God.
eats ravenously.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
Squeak,
so
the cobalt
you
eater.
head out, then you turn right, and you head deeper into the tunnels. Not backtracking. Xynes, since you said it before, I'm going to double check, but I'm kind of going to assume you guys are, as you're venturing further, looking for carvings.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out,
Okay.
especially for the symbols that I've seen and the ones I've been describing. I'm just kind of like keeping an eye out for the symbols.
Okay, so as you turn, or as you come up, you see a tunnel that juts to your right, and then you see an opening to your left. On the left side of the tunnel, you can see the chest symbol, and on the right, heading towards the tunnel, so basically towards the opening is the chest symbol, towards the right is the arrow symbol.
Before anything happens, I quickly speak up and tell them that, be prepared for anything, because based off the last room, we might want to tread carefully.
I quickly run to the opening, but I don't enter, and I just kind of poke my head in.
There be gold.
As you go ahead.
So, does anybody have any speculation on what these symbols? I mean, obviously the chest one, but what the pie symbol means?
No idea.
That there's going to be pie at the end of this.
Yeah.
Pie
been
is not a
deceived.
lie.
I doubt that the pie's going to be any good in a 500-year sealed cavern.
But there's fresh bodies,
It
so
might
there could
be
be fresh
dwarven.
pies.
Yeah, you know, I hear goblins make a really good elf pie.
Might be a
Just
magic
another-
pie.
I'm halfly offended by that.
Ooh, halfly
Nice.
offended. Nice.
But
No.
I point to the treasure chest carving, and I look back at Chitter. I'm like, we found it.
Let's do it. Caw.
Okay, so which way are you guys going? What are you doing?
I'm staying at the door with the light.
I'm going
I'm
to be
at the-
checking the right tunnel with arrow symbol. I'm going to hang out there at the junction and kind of make sure no soon-to-be dead bodies show up. You know, no more kobolds, no more goblins or anything come from our flank.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Berwelf, as you kind of peek your head into the opening here, it's very large, and you can kind of see a chest about 25 feet out on the ground.
I got this. I got you, Beowulf.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let down my backpack, and I got my big rope around Squeak's neck, and he's gonna go check out the chest.
Okay. So you kind of give him the,
Sacrifice.
I worked hard on this.
and he kind of like looks at you. Nods and starts running towards the chest. How long is your rope?
It's 50 feet.
Okay, so he gets to the chest and is kind of sniffing around it, and appears to be fine.
I see that squeak is fine, so I take off running towards the chest.
Me too, because it's my treasure.
Okay. Yeah, you both meet Squeak
Squeak,
and
Squeak,
get to the
attack.
chest. X, you kind of check down the tunnel, and you don't see anything within your light. You just kind of look, give it a quick glance, like, I got this. Looks great.
I'm just staying by the door with the light. I'm not going into the room.
Okay. So, are you guys attempting to get in the chest?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
open it. Try to. And if not, we'll try to wedge it with my dagger.
Go ahead and make a strength check.
I'm glad she's doing that, because
Oh. Do I just do that?
Yep, you did perfectly.
Wow.
So you go ahead and you wedge the chest open. It flies open. If you go ahead and look inside, you decide amongst yourself who gets what, but it has 200 gold pieces, 100 silver pieces, and 55 copper pieces.
As far as the group has to know, we found 55 copper pieces.
yeah.
The way we roll, if we high five it, and we
Yeah. As I high five her, I do the little coup again.
As I hear their excitement, I holler back and ask, you know, hey, what's going on? What you're so excited about?
Did I see them do this?
We didn't die.
I do
From-
deception of cheering of not dying.
Within your torchlight, Xynes, no, they kind of went outside of your torchlight, and then you just hear kind of a smack together and some and excitement.
How much was it again? Sorry, so we can just split it.
200 gold, 100 silver, and then 55 copper.
Okay, so we'll leave the copper.
And I questioned, and did Beowulf say that he did a deception on me, saying that he cheered because he didn't die? Was that what the wording was?
Yeah, they were just excited because
We didn't die.
they're still alive.
Yeah, like Squeak's fine, and we're both alive, and nothing happened.
And we're 55 copper richer.
Yeah.
Something about that doesn't set well with Xanfalcon, because he'd been with this group before and knew that they weren't that exuberant from living from the first battle that we participated in. So he kind of is wondering, and almost to the point of verbal wondering, questioning them of the true nature of what's so exciting.
How do
You're
you
gonna head over to them.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give up that wonderful fork in the road, since the slap sound that echoed through got my attention.
Okay, so you hear the slap, and you two are met by Xanfalcon. As you take a peek into the chest, just because it's still open, there are 55 copper pieces in there.
I ask him where's the rest with my persuasion.
I look at him like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think nothing.
Do you believe that he doesn't know what he's talking about?
I believe Xanfalcon believes that Berwelf is kind of an idiot, honestly. That is overtaken by lustful greed of objects. I saw what he did with his goblet. I was just following suit for the lulz. So
I will say, I think Chitter, because we have a relationship, I think he would split his bounty. So I would give up. So that'd be 50 gold and 25 silver to Xanfalcon, if that's enough for him, and if he still believes Cooge. If that's good
How far
enough.
away are they? Because I was watching him do this, so I'm just wondering.
25 feet.
You see all of this.
Oh,
You see all of this, yeah.
Okay.
but it doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, if they want to buy my silence, they can more than welcome to buy my silence.
Grease the wheel.
Yes,
Okay.
grease the Pac-Man wheel.
Alright, so that's 50 G and 25 silver for both.
Okay, so currently, Berwelf, Xanfalcon, and Chitter are having a discussion at the chest, while at the still at the fork in the road, Enna, Xynes, and Chad are standing waiting.
Now, you said that Chad's already seen us. Has anybody else take notice or overheard any of this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's everybody but Xynes, because Xynes can't see anything.
Well,
She
they
can't
can
really
see
see that
us,
far.
but can they hear any of the verbal sans high-fiving and cheering? Like when I go up and further question them, do they hear any of that?
I was gonna say, it's like 25 feet in, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's an echoed chamber, so,
it's about 25 feet.
Will our voices carry to the fork in the cave?
Are you guys whispering, trying to hide it?
I wouldn't be talking loud enough for my voice to carry. I figure my background as a performer would let me, use sound judgment and not letting things, be overheard that I don't want overheard. So.
And I didn't say anything, I just kind of divvied it out.
It was like an unspoken thing between me and Chitter.
Okay, so and unless you guys are if the Chad and if you guys are intently trying, if you're watching it and trying to listen, you can make perception checks.
I guess I could listen, but I don't know what I'm listening for.
Yeah, so you hear the whole thing.
Dang it. The whole nothing.
Not only does he see it, he hears.
Yeah, so basically, how this has transpired is Berwelf and Chitter walk over to the chest. He pries it open. They divvy it amongst themselves. Xanfalcon comes over. Chitter gives some to Xanfalcon, and then you just hear a little bit of.
Well, for all as much as the group can tell, we took our share and we gave Xanfalcon our share, and we're bringing back 55 copper for the rest of the group. So they don't.
Oh, you do have it? Because I thought it was left in the chest.
whole loot was 55 copper, and so that's what you're bringing, even though we saw the divvying. Okay.
Right. So are you bringing that now over to the group?
Yes.
We're bringing the 55 over to.
Okay, so you present the 55 copper to Enna, Chad, and Xynes.
I say this is not promoting good team cohesion.
I look at Chad, kind of questioning, like, "What are you talking about?" You know,
Don't use big words.
We took our shares, and now we're giving the rest of what was left over to you guys to divvy up.
I mentioned the exact amount of coins there were and what was imprinted on them that you split up before, and any irregularities in any of the coins that I heard, because I heard really well how much there was there.
Wait, did we? We didn't. Well, me.
He heard the coins drop, and like how heavy they were.
I mean, it's 25 feet away. He has 60 feet of dark vision, so like he can watch the whole thing, and because you didn't really say
the kind of coins we're taking.
right.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, like 200 pieces, like you gotta kind
It's
of
gonna make a lot of noise too.
200 copper. He
Plus, he
doesn't.
rolled a 23 on perception, so I mean, you know,
He can see George Washington on there.
yeah. Does anybody else question us immediately, or is it just Chad?
Is Chad making a loud noise about it? Is he speaking up loud enough?
Yeah,
No, I'm only speaking to the three that have the gold.
then I can persuade him with a with 25 silver pieces that maybe it would be best to not make too much of a scene.
I throw 10 gold pieces on top of that.
I don't take any of it.
Persuasion.
I'm assuming he's lawful.
I'm chaotic.
Even better.
Chitter has somewhere to be, so he's just gonna walk.
He's just gonna what?
I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna head up the tunnel with Xynes and be like,
You're gonna head up. So you guys came in to the right. You're gonna
The
head
way
up
we
that
haven't
way.
been.
Okay.
I needed the visuals for future reference.
I would still like to hash something out.
Okay.
with
If you
Chad.
guys want visual, I wanted to see which way worked better. So here.
I see nothing. Well, I don't have dark vision. I can't see anything.
No, it's a big map, so go ahead. It's a big map, so go ahead and find yourselves. Everyone should be able to see because of either the torchlight or your dark vision.
I have a black.
It's all black. Oh, I see. If you scroll around on it.
You guys have to zoom
You gotta
out.
Yeah,
zoom
scroll
out
on.
and then find yourselves. It's a big map.
Okay.
Cool.
So I take it we were just in the left area there. The
So
pocket?
yeah, this is where the stuff transpired.
Okay. Like I said, I would still, before we carry on, and at least if Chad will give me an audience, I'd still like to kind of ease the woes from him there, whether using my perception, my persuasion or my deception. Well, he didn't want to take money, so. I can give him squeak, right? No, I'm just joking.
Don't you ever joke.
I see that he's trying to appease me or whatever, and I just say we're supposed to be a team here. That's all I'm gonna say.
And then Xynes, I guess, at this point is going to start heading down towards the other tunnel like she always has.
I'm with the light source, so I'm with Xynes.
Okay. So you're both heading up that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I awkwardly walk
Keeping
between.
a perception check.
Go ahead and make that perception check.
That would be a big fat 10.
Go ahead and roll 1 too, Chitter. Because you've got some light. Nice.
You're like
So as you're walking, you're kind of looking and scanning, and you feel as though you trip over something, but you can't quite see it, and then you hear this, and then this giant, large. Let me put it on here for you. This giant, large, spiked thing is triggered and slams into both of you.
Oh, no dex checks to dodge it.
No, because you didn't
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
string.
Caca!
So I
You
immediately...
both take 14 points of bludgeoning damage
Ooh.
as it smacks into both of you straight in the chest.
How far does it go down? How far is the swing? Are we
I mean,
gonna...
it swings like they didn't see it, and it's triggered. It swings, hits them in the chest, and pushes them back about 10 or 5 feet.
How squeak squeak.
But now it's Squeak's fine because he's on your back. So now it's just it's there about, I mean, yeah, 3 or 4 feet in the air, just swinging.
Okay. So we can get the dwarf to crawl underneath Kappa. So if it's resting there, I immediately stop, trying to ease the tensions with Chad, and obviously my attention is now to the loud sound of half the team getting bludgeoned by something in the darkness.
Yeah, Xynes is kind of like bent over, coughing, trying to get her breath again.
So now you can easily move over it or under it, but it is just kind of swinging there now.
Okay.
I move past it.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
You guys, since you guys can see the map now, you can go ahead and move your characters within reason. So wherever you kind of want to move to, you can feel free. I was
I want to kind of get up, dust myself off. I'm assuming I have to produce another flame again. So, and then I'll just kind of. Actually, before I produce another flame, knowing I was hit, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna, since I'm right behind Chitter, I'm going to see if I can at least kind of give Chitter a once over to make sure, that they're at least not any kind of life threatening, and see if there's anything I can do to help try to at least mend or stabilize their current condition.
Do you have any medical supplies on you?
No, it does not look like I have any medical supplies on me.
Okay. You can still make a medicine check if you want.
Can I do an animal handling check, Kappa? Sorry.
Expensive.
Sure.
I'll go ahead and I'll touch Chitter on like the shoulder, like I'm kind of like helping Chitter up, and then cast Cure Wounds at the same time.
Okay. X, you kind of look him over, and you just kind of can tell, he took massive damage to the front, knocked the wind out of him. Didn't really break anything, as you kind of, if he lets you you didn't break any bones or anything, but his armor has kind of been stabbed and just took a hit. Okay, so you guys heal up, and Chad is heading under or over, probably not over, but heading past the swinging trap.
Well, now that Chitter's okay, I would actually like to head up past the trap while keeping up a perception check for any other potential traps.
Yeah, I'm gonna relight my produce flame and start walking again.
Okay, if you're actively checking for traps, you can make an investigation check.
Okay.
Didn't mean to ping there, sorry.
Okay, so in the room that you're currently in, as you kind of check the walls and the tiles and you look up at the ceiling, from what you can see from your small torch, doesn't appear to be traps. You don't find any mechanisms, and you don't see any hanging barbed logs.
I move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take my place back with walking next to Chad.
I'm just trying to make sure that our flank here was covered, and then I head up behind everybody.
Are you heading into Enna? Okay, perfect.
Shouldn't he have a light source off him, Xanfalcon?
I do.
He does. It's just it's about the same as yours. It's very, very dim.
So have we come up to another fork, or do we not see that? Okay.
No, yeah. So you come to another fork. You can see on the right-hand side, there's the arrow. On the left-hand side is the pie. Or the wheel.
There's got to be pie here.
So are we taking the left with the pie or the right with the arrow? Oh.
I'm going to go to the
light.
start of the right here with the arrow, and I'm just going to see if I can ascertain anything right there at the junction that might be beneficial to us, either negative or positive.
And then when we get over towards the left, I'm just gonna. I know others speak Dwarvish, but I'm gonna just kind of whisper it silently and be like, "Do you see anything in there?" To Chad.
I'm just gonna follow closely behind.
I'll look closely.
Okay. X, you just kind of see the tunnel continue from what you can see. Chad, you see the tunnel start to snake. It's just a tunnel.
I say we go this way.
I'm following you.
So Anna's still back here with me, eh?
Yeah, if you're not following the group.
I have not decided what I was going to do. Alright, I'm going to head up and start going down the snake path behind the group then.
Okay. As you get to there, Chad, Xynes, Berwelf, the rest of the party, you see a tunnel that juts off to your right and one that snakes continues down to the left.
Are there any symbols on the walls?
No symbols.
Can we check for any more tripwires or something?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
While she's doing that, can I also, because Zeltine said that we're supposed to go down the beaten path. Can I see if either one of these caves looks more, like the floor looks more worn, like it was traveled more?
Perception check. Yeah. Okay, if you guys are actively looking for traps, you don't see no traps.
23 on the perception?
Nice.
Yeah, like I said before, these kind of look as though they've been carved out. So there's not as much of a treading path. There's not really gravel. There's a few gravel, but it's not like laid gravel. It doesn't really appear to be traversed too much. Nothing around what you've seen.
So nothing. So neither path looks more worn than the other.
Paths
Correct.
Now, in all my travels, do I recognize any of the type of carving technique or whatever that was used for these tunnels to kind of ascertain their origins as far as the craftsmanship and the tunneling? Was it like the tunneling of a large creature, or was it the tunneling of like dwarven work, or what kind of?
Trying to figure out what I want you to roll.
Okay.
I would say you could either make a nature or a straight intelligence. Just make a straight intelligence check. You're not too sure if someone came through here and drilled all this out, or if there were a lot of people drilling it out. You really can't ascertain how these were created.
Okay.
Now,
I'm just gonna tell
ahead.
Chad that I'm following him.
I'm a dwarf and stonecutter, so what can I tell from the carving of the stone?
Yeah, I think that means you get... go ahead and make a history check with advantage. Nice. So, you haven't really seen tunneling like this before. It doesn't look like a humanoid tunneled this out. Doesn't look like anything you've seen. Best you can tell, this probably was a a natural tunnel. It's either a natural tunnel or it is something that has come from a beast.
I don't
I
want to
let
be
the
here.
party know that a beast did this. That's my feeling.
Does he have pie?
A pie beast made this tunnel.
So does that mean that this part of the tunnel is different from what we've normally been traveling, or is it still all kind of the same? Like
The tunnels themselves are all kind of the same. The pockets or the rooms might be a little different.
okay, so it's not like we've suddenly gotten to a different texture of the cavern or something. To okay, I got you.
No, I just didn't notice the walls till now.
All right, I'm following. I'm still gonna tell Chad to lead on.
Can I?
I
What
have a
is
preference of direction.
what is Squeak Squeak's visual range like?
Squeak Squeak, I think has. I mean, he has dark vision.
Okay.
You're thinking of send him in as a scout?
It's like a little drone. Yeah.
He's got
But he only has 50 feet.
60 feet of dark vision.
So he sees further than he can go.
I mean, same goes for me.
Oh,
Sort of. Yeah.
So
I
put
don't know.
squeaks on your head. That'll help you see better, right?
Well, I don't know that he can report back to me, but he can tell me danger or no danger.
You should then squeak around the corner to see up this path right next to us instead of the longer path in front of us.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just on the leash, which is 50 feet. I'll send him around the corner.
Okay, let me get his token back here.
how dare you not have his token at the ready?
Oh, he's in my
Oh,
pack.
it's at the ready, but it doesn't need to be on the map.
Squeak Squeak fan art up in here.
I still need to write the ballad of Squeak Squeak. I forgot to do
Okay, so Squeak Squeak, you want him to head into the room?
Oh, that's a room, not a separate path.
Well, no, it is a separate path.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers. So he heads in. Anyways, so he's gone for about a minute, and then he comes back to you, Chitter, and he kind of he just makes rat noises.
Oh, great. That's helpful. But he didn't die. So
I
Was
mean,
that to the right?
that was
to the
this one.
right?
Is
I move up since he came back.
Does comprehend spell allow me to understand an animal, or no, not at all?
What is it?
Comprehend language. I'm sorry, not spell. Comprehend language.
Let me look at the spell. I don't think so.
Okay.
Whoops.
What monster did you base this off of? Is Chitter based off of? Is it just a rat or a giant rat?
Squeak Squeak is a giant rat.
Giant rat. Okay.
What about Beastmaster as an archetype?
Are you a Beastmaster?
Yes.
Okay. I would say you could probably, you can't like full out just have a conversation, but you can probably go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage if you're going to help.
You could tell if it's
outta
like
here.
positive or negative. Spoon to puppy.
Okay. So as you kind of get down and start to kind of help discern, Squeak Squeak is kind of he went in and kind of smelled around. Doesn't seem distressed or to really relay danger.
I look at the rest of the group and kind of like, I'll follow wherever they want to choose as a path.
I'm still unclear as to which way the mouse went. Was it right or left? Was it?
The rat went right.
I'll go that direction then.
Okay.
I'll follow along Chad since that's what I've been doing this whole time.
Yeah.
Follow that source.
Okay, so as you guys start to go right, and you enter this very large cavern, as you normally have kind of done, Go ahead. Well, what you see is the large cavern. On the right, you see all three symbols. You see the arrow, the chest, and the pie. And to the left, you see a chest.
We found it. We're there.
The pie chest.
Pie.
Okay, so because Chad is on to us, I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna stay off of this chest. Back off.
I'll wait in the doorway patiently.
I'll investigate the chest.
We'll see what you get.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check to check it over.
I'll go with him.
I'm going to eagerly follow, but stay slightly behind them.
All right, so you look the chest over, and you can see on the top of it there is the image of a spider that has been etched into the top of this chest.
I know somebody's going to be key for that.
Cough it up, bro.
Cough what?
Spider chest. Anybody got a spider key?
Oh, spider key, yes. I definitely have that. I would love to assist you, teammate, friend, compadre.
With whom we always share money.
Unlocks whatever spider key unlocks, or whatever.
While they're
Alright.
investigating the chest, can I like look around the room to see if I see anything suspect or whatever?
What are you looking for?
Anything that stands out, really?
Make a perception check.
Can I keep an eye out, making a connection? Okay, spider chest, spider key. Can I be on a lookout for spiders or check for if there's anything, webs or anything that I can see around?
Yeah, you don't see any in this cavern, but you can make a note. Yeah, with a 12, you see the etchings on the wall over in this direction, and you just see like a cavern over on the left. You see kind of like a pile of rocks. Almost like a formation, and that's about it from where you're at currently. Okay,
I'm going to ready my axe while he opens the chest with his spider key.
Well, I gave you the key.
He's going to give you the key.
You can gladly say, no, you do it, and kind of making me pay for my idiotic kind of keeping you out of the spoils earlier.
No, I'll take the. I'll just go ahead and open it up.
Okay.
Okay, so you insert the key and you give it a good old full turn, and you hear the lock click, and it opens.
Okay, I open the chest.
Okay, yeah, you slide it open. You can see on the inside some kind of glyph, but it almost as you open it. Fades in color. So it was kind of like a starting shimmering green. It just automatically fades to gray. And you can see inside there is 1 potion of healing, 30 pieces of copper, and a robe that has a bunch of patches on it.
Oh, patch robe, cool. Anybody magic here?
Me, I'm warlock.
There's a glyph here. That I don't know what it is, and I don't want to stick my hand in the chest if there's a glyph in there. Do you know about glyphs?
I would believe so, seeing as I am a warlock. Do I need to roll any kind of perception or investigation check on it?
Arcana. Make an Arcana check.
Real quick, what happened to the copper pieces from earlier? Did we divvy those out?
The 55? I don't
Did they
think
just
so.
disappear?
Nobody
think-
took any.
Yeah,
No, you guys did take it. I think one of the
You hang
three
on
of
to
you
those
had it.
next. Okay.
You guys left them in the chest, and I.
Well, no, they were picked up. They were picked up and brought over to the group, but then they weren't
Presented.
divvied out. So, Chitter, you have them. You
okay.
you or X have them. They were picked up to be brought over, but they weren't then divvied.
I'll make a note. Maybe we can divvy those later. Okay.
Okay, with an 11, from best you can tell, this glyph is not active.
Okay.
You don't really know what it would do, but you can tell that it's not a threat now.
All right. Well, I give Chad like the thumbs up so he can stick his hand in there first.
At seeing the robe, I offer to identify it once we loot it.
I let whoever wants whatever they want take. I don't need any of this stuff, so I walk away.
I just want to identify the robe for curiosity's sake. It tends to control a lot of my choices. Is just the curiosity of everything around me, since I'm such a
Okay.
interesting.
So do you pick it up out of the chest then?
Sure, we can say that I definitely reach in and grab the patchwork
Okay.
cloak or whatever robe.
No, that's fine. You go ahead, you pick it up, and you cast your identify spell. I take it that's what you're doing.
Right.
So you take the next minute to go ahead and cast this spell, and once you kind of spend your minute and you finish, you ascertain that this is a robe of useful items, and it does not require attunement, and it does not require a spellcaster to use it. It can be used by any person, and it has I can tell you the patches it has on it if you would like to know. Actually, I probably should tell you here. I'll actually, to save us time, I will drag and drop it into the chat.
Okay.
Those things are so cool. I have one on another character.
Yeah.
So
they're awesome.
I'll read it if you guys aren't reading it. It has a dagger, it has a lantern, has a steel mirror, a 10-foot pole, hempen rope, a sack, one pit, two silver coffers, a rowboat, a wooden ladder, an iron door, a portable ram, a riding horse with saddlebags. Now these are all patches on the robe itself. It has 2 patches that each have 4 potions of healing on the same patch, 2 mastiffs patches, and a bag that has money in it.
Since I looted the robe and identified it, I don't quite yet share to anybody my findings and just slip it in my backpack for now.
Okay.
So, no, I mean, this is just a question about the item itself. Are these like items within all these different patches, and you can just pull them out like some magical bag?
Yeah, so it's a robe that you wear with all these patches. When you take a patch off, it becomes that item.
Okay.
And then it doesn't return to a patch. Once you pull the patch, you use the item.
And it's no longer there anymore.
Well, no. Like, if you pull the rowboat off, it becomes a rowboat, and then it's a rowboat. Like,
But you lose the ability to pull it out in the future again.
right. Like,
Correct.
you'd have to carry the rowboat with you.
One time use for each.
One-time use. Yeah.
I'd like to pull out the rowboat.
And so if I, just for my own clarification, if I were in a situation in which I was in combat and I chose to throw my dagger and then I needed to throw another dagger, I could rip off the patch. It would become a dagger of the same quality, or does it roll as far as what kind of quality it is, or what? Is it just a standard like 1d4 kind of 3 piercing dagger like I carry?
It's gonna be a normal dagger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like gonna pull off a riding horse's saddlebag patch and it become like a pegacorn or some silly thing like that. Okay.
But why would you attack with a dagger when you could throw a rowboat at him?
True, but I'm -2 on my strength, so
iron door.
I don't think I can
but
throw
you're
a.
throwing the patch, so then it becomes the
It
item.
materializes. Just,
You got
I
like
throw
a
the
1 second
door then.
delay. You got like a 1 second delay to throw it.
Yeah, it's like oh,
Throw
what
like
do
a
I do?
ninja star that turns into a rowboat.
Dude, do that with an iron door, man. Just whah!
Yeah.
Like it.
Now the silver coffers. Those of you guys that have seen this or used this before, what do y'all typically use those for? Just for my own clarification in the future.
What you would know that a silver coffer, from what you can see on the robe, it's I mean, obviously not. It is a patch, but what the patch looks like is it's basically a silver bar. It's a foot long, 6 inches wide and deep, and worth money. Like, it's basically a silver bar.
Okay. And now the pit, I assume, is like the pit that we found in the other room, like legit can manifest a pit, or... Okay. Alright. That's cool. I'm glad I picked that up.
So it still has 30 copper pieces and 1 potion of healing.
Of course, I'm not going to reach in for anything more, because I'm already, good.
How's Xynes doing on her health?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest somebody giving the health potion to somebody in need.
What's your hit points at?
I'm 24 out of 29, so I'm down 5.
Okay. I'm 15 out of 21.
So you're down 6, so you technically need it more.
We could split it.
Can't split a potion, hun.
Oh.
You literally can, though.
But then
There are no rules.
it
You
wouldn't give you the full effect, so it would be a waste of potion.
What if Chitter like quaffed the whole potion, but as it's a bird-like creature, would hold some of it in its mouth and then feed Xynes like a mama bird some of the potion?
Everyone come get some. Just everyone.
No, I'm good.
You can certainly try.
What do I roll on that? No, I'm just
It
joking.
would be you.
Sorry, Boom.
Polite pass.
I started heading towards the center of the room.
No one ever talked to Xynes or Chitter again. They were like, you guys go that way.
While they're splitting up the last little bit and deciding on who needs to get healed, I kind of move up a little bit, hugging that wall that I'm on just to be safe. And then I'm going to kind of see if I can perceive anything else around us or see if there's any more opening or anything, since I was pretty much just focused on the chest originally.
Yeah, I was going to try to do another investigation check.
If you're checking for traps, you can make an investigation check.
I'm just seeing if I can perceive anything. Can I perceive anything?
Probably about the same that Berwelf did. Just it's a large cavern.
Okay.
There's a jut off to here, and then it's mostly open. So as you guys are checking, as you check for traps, Berwelf. Okay, you can see those lines there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were down before I gave you guys vision. You can now visibly see those. That is another tripwire, essentially.
All right. Well, I share with the group what I have found. That there is a trap right in front of me. Is that 2 separate tripwires? Is that one?
It's one. I made it with the green, and that's an ugly color. So
Would it be, what is it, what would I use, like, what roll would I use to try to disable that?
That would be. That's a good question.
Sleight of hand.
Or we could use a tool, right?
If it's sleight of hand, I am
Straight up
proficient
dex?
in that.
Gabby, you roll 2d4 and then add 2 to the roll.
Yeah, you can make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
All right.
Do
You want to do that? Do you want to do that, Xanfalcon? Or
Yeah, I'm 4 with no...
So you technically healed 10 points.
I'm 3, so you should probably do it.
Okay.
And I don't go over.
Correct. You don't go over, you just get back to your max.
Nice.
Cool, thanks.
Nice.
So we used up that potion.
Okay, cool.
And that leaves the cover.
Yeah, you were able to go ahead and kind of figure out the you kind of run your finger along the wire and you kind of watch it go up the wall and
Which wall? This wall?
both. You can see both that it ends up connecting.
Okay.
And those
Ooh.
become visible, being held off by a mechanism that would be triggered if you basically just, do
Put
this rope.
tautness. Yeah, put tautness
Yeah.
in the rope.
But you're able to find the one piece in the mechanism that connects the two, and you disable that. So the trap is disabled.
In my joy, I jump up and click my heels together and smile, and then kind of dance around in a circle, kind of just delighted with myself and my idiotic stupor there.
Perfect.
I start going towards the pathway to the right.
Okay.
I want to. What was up with the rocks that you said were in like a formation kind of thing?
That's this over here. It just kind of looks, just kind of like some of the terrain kind of goes up, and there's just kind of various rocks.
Am I before those various rocks in front of me?
Yeah.
Can I perceive anything special about them? Are the rocks really spider eggs? I mean,
You guys can make investigation checks. if you're checking out the rocks and the formation.
Okay.
Since the rocks, can I roll with advantage?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I take it my 8 doesn't get me very far with my investigation. Oh,
So,
wow.
Nice.
so from you,
Nice.
what you can figure out, X, they're rocks, and this is just kind of a part of the cave that has been, either not chiseled out or you don't know.
Okay.
Chad, you get the same thing, but you possibly think that this other rather than just being, it is a formation in the rocks, but you definitely know that if someone chiseled this out, they didn't chisel this part out.
Just rocks, guys. We can...
So it was intentional.
So it was intentionally not chiseled?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to continue hugging this left wall and kind of pursuing forward, but I'm definitely still going to keep my eye out for things as I did earlier, since there was such a large trap. I'm still a little weary that there might be small little pressure plates or something like that. So I'm still very paranoid.
Xynes is sticking with Chad.
It's like I have
Okay.
a minion.
Xynes is a dwarf lover.
So Berwelf,
Xynes can-
are you continuing into the cave then, or into the tunnel?
Everybody else is going to the right.
To the right.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like, how far back does that room go? I mean, is there more to see in there?
That's why I was hugging this left wall to see if I can fill it out, but I can only see what my bone torch shows me.
I was gonna
So-
say
We can
my,
check it real quick.
my
What
dark
you
vision.
what you
didn't
can see,
anything.
Chad, that is the extent of the room. So up to those traps that were set to fall and kill you, there's nothing past that.
That's a shame, since this was the room with the 3 carvings in it. So, yeah, I guess we'll move on.
Well, the 3 carvings are on the wall that lead towards where Berwelf is headed. So like they're on the side of the wall, but almost
Did you know you can
jutting
click on
down
this
towards.
Did you know you can click on the map and show us what you're talking about, like this?
Yeah, so right about there where the tunnel starts, right on the inside is where those carvings were.
For curiosity's sake, I'm going to try to go up a little bit to the left here, a little bit more, hugging that wall.
Okay. Are you continuing in further Berwelf?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue partway up, and still kind of looking for traps just to make sure nothing's gonna pop out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys continue. Go ahead and continue forward. You don't see any traps because you're checking methodically, carefully. You don't see anything. X, as you kind of make your way around the room, you kind of figure out how, you found the end of it. You see the hanging spiked barbs ahead of you that won't drop. But other than that formation in the middle of the room, you fill it out.
Okay. So I just find the trap that I disabled and kind of cheerful with myself there. Hee hee. Alright, and I join back up with the group.
Okay. So yeah, you guys come up and the tunnel starts to widen. As you kind of see a path that goes to the right, path that goes to the left.
Are the markings indicated in either way, or?
No, the markings that you saw are the only ones there. You don't see any more as of now.
I suggest to the group that we head left towards that portion.
When I get to here, do I see that there's not much to the right?
Yeah, it's a dead end.
And I can't see anything else from there, just a dead end, nothing else there.
However far you can see, to the right, it like the cavern stops. It is a dead stop. To the left, you can see however far your character token can see there.
Yep, let's go left.
So yeah, as you come up to the left, then you can see another dead end. But at this time, the boulder, it's definitely a cave-in that has occurred. And then to the right, there is a tunnel that continues.
Are we able to approach the cave-in area to see how kind of deep it is, or if we're able to if we're able to get to the other side of any way, or is it just?
Yeah, you can go up and check it out.
Can I
poke it
recommend
with
that
my
Chad?
staff?
Can I recommend that
Yeah.
Chad check it out
Yeah, I
since
recommend that.
like I speak up in Dwarven to Chad. I'm like, hey Chad, do you want to do the group a favor and check this out, make sure everything's stable, make sure there's nothing that we need to worry about?
I like rocks and stuff. I'll set out my surveyor tools and do the whole.
Can I just
Okay.
look at X
As you
talk
go
about
ahead and
it?
get up closer, you can sense and see that there's a little bit of a gap opening at the top of where these have caved in.
Does it look like the rocks would shift if I climbed up there to look through?
You're not sure.
With the
Well, then I
21,
do
he's
it,
not
of
sure.
course.
You could send Squeak up there.
Nah, I got this.
All right.
Okay, go ahead and make just make a perception check then. Just you get up there and you're starting to look around. From what you can see, as you step on them, there's a little shifting under your dwarven form, but you can see then to the other side. But it's going to be tight.
We
I
can
can
start.
see. Is it just a pathway to the other side?
Yeah, it's basically just another tunnel into an opening.
I relay the information to the group. I say we go the other way. It's not caved in.
Yeah, go with the other way would probably be a smarter idea, because if something is on the other side of that cave, it's blocked off for now, so our backs are covered at least.
We
We
hope.
can always come back to this.
Yeah, just remember it's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk the rat.
You don't want to risk the
Where's
rat. Risk it for the rat.
No, rat lives matter.
Risk it for the Trisket.
You sent him into his possible death and demise earlier. Gosh.
It was for the sake of treasure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
I followed Chad up through the
Okay.
path.
So yeah, it's Chad, Xynes, Berwelf, Xanfalcon. As you guys mostly, because it's wider now, you guys make your way into this cave. You guys can, those of you with dark vision, can see a chest come into your left, and then you can see to the right. The cavern continues.
Since I was checking for, do I see like any spider webs? Making note of that from back there.
No, you haven't seen any spider webs or anything like that.
Okay.
Have the markings reappeared, or are those still gone right now as well?
There are no markings.
Okay.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
As he's doing that, is there any repeat of the glyph that we saw in the chest earlier anywhere? Has that...
If you've been looking for it, you haven't seen any glyphs
Okay.
on the cave walls, no. With a 10, you take a look to the wall, and you can see a very, very faded pi symbol wheel.
Okay.
Now, does the those with dark vision, does Anna or Chad tell us that they've seen this chest up ahead that we have yet to see in our vision?
Yes, I was about to relay. I'm allowed to relay what I can see with my dark vision, correct?
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell them.
On the far side of the room, I can see another chest and what might be a creature. I am not certain, but I relay that to the group.
Okay.
But that is on the far side of the room, so I would say approach with caution.
Oh, so you're saying charge right in and act a fool. Okay.
Yeah, there's a door right there. You should probably charge it.
Okay. I don't think
Are
my
we-
negative
we're-
2 is gonna do much.
Is anybody going to do a trap check or anything?
I'm gonna.
I've actively been searching, so if Boom wants me to roll for one, I can, but I've been actively searching since the last trap I disabled.
No traps
Okay.
that you can detect.
That I can detect.
Now, Boom, am I able to tell, like with my vision, am I able to tell what that is next to the treasure chest, or no?
I think Chad's already
Like a
went up.
sheep.
Oh, Chad's approached.
Yeah.
Wait! Don't kill yourself.
As you guys go past the first chest, and start to peek around the corner to see what's down there. You see 5 more chests and another body.
Body.
Is the body a failed guardian? Can I ask one of my dark-sighted friends to see if they can ascertain that? Hey, Chad.
You know,
That body
Okay.
is
the body.
What's it look like? Is it a well-rotted skeleton like the first body we found, or is it...
It looks blue.
Body. I don't know. Dead.
Yeah, so it's another skeleton, and from there's no loot on this one necessarily, but it does look like another guardian similar.
No spike through the floor that's holding it up or anything of that nature?
No.
Alright.
Excited by greed, Berwelf opens this first chest right here at the entranceway.
Excellent.
I take a step back before he opens it.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm up by Chad.
I took a step forward.
But I want to see.
Bye, guys. I'll see you on the other side.
So as you come
wait
up to
your
this
court.
chest and lay your hands on it to open it, your hands stick,
Oh, hell
which
no.
isn't normal for wood,
Oh, no.
and your hands are now stuck to this chest. Go ahead and roll initiative, friends.
Hey, I have a quick question, Boom.
Yeah.
Because I can never remember your character X, sorry.
Xanfalcon.
Because Xanfalcon has a torch, shouldn't I be able to see his torchlight as well when we're not sitting on top of each other? Because I don't see him anywhere at all.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Oh, I see you.
There
Yep,
we go.
I
now
fixed
see
it.
him.
My bad.
Thank you. Now, for initiative, guys, click your token first, and then click initiative, and then it'll show up on the tracker.
Or if you're happy with your roll, okay, I was gonna say I'm always happy to put them in.
Which one's initiative?
It says at the top right above your HP, initiative. On your character sheet where it says your current hit points. it's the-
Oh, my character sheet. Gotcha.
Yeah, on your character sheet, you want to click the button that says initiative.
Boom, does knock, can that help him get unstuck since it can potentially disable arcane kind of locking mechanisms or prevention of access?
You'll have to find out.
We're in initiative now, so.
You'll
Yeah.
have to find out. Okay, is everybody in here? 3 PCs or 6 PCs in the chest. Perfect.
In the chest. Oh god. No.
Is it a
Boom.
No!
No, Boom.
Is it a mimic?
Is it the turtle soup?
Okay, X.
I didn't know mimics were in this
So,
game.
as far as you know, Berwelf, and Chitter and Xynes are kind of in the back checking out this chest, and you, Chad, and Enna are checking out this skeleton in front of 5 chests.
Okay. So we ascertain there's nothing on the ground and nothing that's that we can tell that's killed this skeleton, correct? From what we
Correct.
established earlier.
Mhm.
I yell over to my pals over on the other chest and ask them how it goes.
Well, Berwelf's hands being now stuck to this chest, I guess I can assume something immediately is wrong, correct?
Yes, but wait. If you're gonna shout, do it. Go ahead and do it on your turn.
Okay.
So X is gonna, what's going on? So that's all you're really doing, X?
I guess as I'm being inquisitive, I will come to the side of Xynes, but still keep a little distance away from the actual chest itself.
Oh, you can play music? That's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot earlier. If it's too loud for you, go to your cog wheel, and that is your master volume level. So that will be set individually for yourselves.
I don't hear it at all.
I don't
He
hear
played
it
it for a brief second.
turn it
and
up.
Stopped it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, changing my. Oh, there it goes.
Some Hans Zimmer shiz.
There you go. Okay. So what did I missed it? Sorry.
I came up to the side of Xernes here, still keeping a little bit of distance, but not wanting to, like, being inquisitive, but still, yeah, keeping within about 15 feet of the chest.
Okay,
So.
perfect. Chitter.
Yo, I have a crow bar in my bag. I'm gonna try and help Berwelf out with that. I'm gonna pull it out, kind of wedge it between his hands and the chest.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check. So as you go to try and pry, yes.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking is because I actually looked it up last night during my other game on Friday night. But a crowbar, it says using a crowbar grants advantages on stealth check where the crowbar's leverage can be applied.
What?
She
Yeah,
would have
the-
advantage on the roll.
Oh, you mean a strength? You said stealth. You mean strength? Strength.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
strength.
You can roll it again then.
Wow. Oh, this doesn't look good.
Come on, Boom.
It's a crowbar. You should have known it would work for the crow.
Wait, I thought you were a pigeon.
This has been a PSA. I am not a pigeon.
Yeah.
All right, you go ahead and are able to take his hands off of the chest, but there is now an adhesive on your hands, Cooge.
Oh, it's like acid, or like
No, not
You can
acid,
climb
just
walls
they're
now.
super sticky.
okay.
Don't high five him.
Okay,
Yeah, they're stuck to me.
so that is your action. Are you gonna move at all, Chitter?
That chest is freaking me out. So yeah, I'm gonna center I'm gonna head right over there. That's good.
You will take an attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Okay, so as you pry his hands off quickly and back up, the chest opens and the pseudopod comes out to smack you.
Is that like a face hugger?
No, it's like a giant tongue.
Ooh.
Cute. It's like the chest is an oyster. I like it.
Kiss the bad.
That's a 21 to hit. You take 11 points of damage. Berwelf, you are not grappled.
Awesome. That is not what I wanted. So it's now my turn though. I'm free.
It is your turn.
All right. Well, I'm allowed to move then do an action, correct? Or is it?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a step way back over here, and then I'm going to cast, like, after seeing this tongue come out and hit Chitter, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast.
Now, when he moves away, he doesn't take a attack of opportunity.
No, because it used its attack to hit Chitter.
Yeah, you only get it's a reaction essentially to take an attack of opportunity, and you only get one reaction per round.
Okay.
Okay, so you let off your Eldritch Blast, and it hits right into the stonework above the chest. You missed it.
So I would assume by now the other members of the party are like, "Yo, something's up," and so they're now aware of some fishy business with these chests.
I would say probably,
Yeah.
since you let off an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
But didn't scream like a girl, just
Yeah, just
Yeah.
casted some magic. No big
some
deal.
Kamehameha action.
Okay, Enna, you're up.
We can't hear you.
Push to talk.
Sorry. Playing a ranger for the first time. So I have some spells. I have Hunter's Mark, Hell of Thorns. But I'm not sure how that works with also being able to shoot with my bow.
So I'm pretty sure that Hunter's Mark takes a bonus action to cast. So you can cast Hunter's Mark and then still take an attack.
You're forgetting push to talk again.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And thank you.
Okay, he is Hunter's Marked. So
I just had to move my character so I could see the symbol on it, that's all. I just wanted to see what token you used.
Oh,
All right. So with a 6, you let out an arrow, shooting past the teammates, and it skitters back into the cave and does not land a hit, sadly.
Wait, did she roll with disadvantage? Is that what it says right there?
No. She, if she shoots up to 600 feet, so if she shoots
Okay.
past 150.
Okay.
Any movement?
No.
Okay. Xynes.
Alright, because they were right on the edge of my light for the dim light, so would I have seen the tongue lash out and hit Chitter while she moved, or while he moved?
I'll say yeah.
Okay, then in that case, Xynes is going to take her action to throw the produce flame that she's holding, throw the little fireball thing that she's holding at it.
Okay.
21 to hit,
That'll hit.
so 7 fire damage.
Nice. So the green flame comes out of your hands and starts to give damage to the creature.
And then technically, my light source is gone since I threw it. But as a bonus action, I'm going to turn into a tiger.
Yeah.
A large tiger, that is.
Oh.
And as a tiger, I have dark vision of 60 feet.
nice.
Can I advise her not to touch the chest in fear of her getting stuck, or?
It's kind of call out to it.
Well, she made an attack and she hit it, so.
Well, I threw fire at it.
Well, she threw fire. She threw fire at it.
She's done anyway. That's what he's saying.
Okay, so at this point, the chest has flown open and made an attack. You can now, those of you kind of close to it can see there is adhesive and teeth coming out of it, and it looks angry. So it is going to hop up to you, Xynes, and make a bite attack.
Alright.
That's a 13.
That actually hits because my armor class goes down because it takes that of the tiger. So yes, that hits.
Okay. So you take 11 points of piercing damage plus 1 point of acid damage as it bites into your tiger form. All right, Chad.
Okay. I am going to run up there, pull my great axe, and pick its lock with my great axe.
So you're gonna try to smash it at the lock kind of on the front of it?
I'm just going to come down full force. I'm running full force, two-handed, from above, slice down just into the top of it.
Yes, that'll hit.
Dang!
Oh crap, I should have raged. But I didn't, so I won't.
Okay, so as you make contact with it, the lid almost shuts and it kind of squeals a little bit as you just deal a whopping force to it. Anything else?
I burp and then let the next person go.
Okay, top of the round, X.
All right. From where I'm at, I'm going to go ahead and cast Fairy Fire, just to be able to see more. It's a 20-foot cube, I believe. So it should illuminate easily everything slightly past. And also the corpse down here should admit a small glow. Is there any other objects near us that hadn't been revealed yet that would be revealed during that cast?
I changed your lighting, so you should be able to see everything then.
All right. So, and then it's blue, guys. Just to let you know, the fairy fire is blue. So the chest is now outlined with a light blue light. So, any attack roll against the affected character has advantage if the attacker can see it. So, anywho, and then
can you go ahead and hit the spell card so I can read it?
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're good.
There. And I'm going to actually step over to Chitter to potentially help them out further in the coming round to try to get them some more health.
Okay. Chitter, you're up.
All right. We're gonna pull out an arrow from the quiver and pull my short bow off my back, and I'm gonna fire one up.
Nice.
Oh, bravo! What a show! What a show!
Go ahead and click on short bow in the chat to roll damage. Nice. Any movement for you?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
All right, Berwelf, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast again.
Now, does he have a path, or is he possibly going to hit Chad?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I remember the other week you almost
didn't
killed
look
Gabby. So
yeah, I didn't look at that.
he can duck, right? Because he's only like 4 foot. I'm sure you've got plenty of range.
I'm not
over
a
that.
duck.
No,
I think he's taller, but yeah, you probably need to move to one side or the other to get a
Yeah.
clear line.
sorry, I just remembered the previous.
Nah,
Thanks.
you're good.
I wasn't paying attention. I just knew what my action was. But yeah,
That's okay. Yeah. So with an 8, the 8 misses. You go high again and can't hit the creature.
All right.
Okay, Enna.
Okay, so does that mean that I can do the Hunter's Mark again?
It's concentration, so it should still be up.
Okay, then. So I'm going to shoot my bow again.
Okay. Sadly, the 11 doesn't hit either. So you fired the first time and it went left, so you fire again and then go right. You just can't find your center.
You're homing in on it. You're good.
Does she have an advantage because of the fairy fire?
Actually, you would, so try again. Good
Thank
call.
Oh, shiz. Hey.
Boom shot.
Nice!
When I rolled earlier, I was on advantage because I was still on advantage from the last time with the crowbar. So, should I
Yeah,
reroll?
No, because
No,
yeah,
you're
it
good.
would have. And if you ever do roll like that, I'm just gonna take the left one. So the left one was the crit, so I'm gonna take it. All right, go ahead and roll damage for your crit.
Very
Nice.
Very nice.
And your Hunter's Mark damage.
What's the Hunter's Mark damage again?
I believe it's an additional D6, I think. And she gets to roll it twice.
Yeah,
since
you
it's
dealt
a
an
crit.
extra 1d6.
Yep. So it'd be 2d6 because of the crit. So go ahead and roll another d6. That is enough. How would you... Any special way you'd like to kill it?
I will leave that up to Zion.
Well, no, your arrow kills it.
Describe the kill.
Make it epic.
Yeah, describe how you want to. Do you want to shoot it straight through the mouth and it pierces it, or however you want it to hit?
Give it a nice
You would
tongue
describe
piercing.
Blood everywhere.
Nice tongue piercing.
Yeah. Right through the oyster or the pearl.
Yeah, I'm liking the tongue piercing part, right into that the pretty purple part, because I love purple.
Okay, so yeah, you go ahead and you pull back and you let your arrow fly. It goes ahead, hits it right at the base of the tongue, which kind of like skewers it, and it makes it, and then the tongue falls limp, and the top falls on top of it, and it is dead.
This went so much better than the last mimic I faced, right, Taz?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm so glad I was able to do so much in that fight.
I'm just glad you weren't stuck to the mimic the whole fight.
Well,
I was feeling that way myself, but
To Ben's chagrin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gabby helped me out, and Chitter helped me out, and if she didn't, I was going to do a shocking touch while I was stuck to it to let me
Been
know.
cool.
Gabby needs some healing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at 10 out of 21. Not too.
All right, so you initiative order for now has ceased. You guys watch as Enna deals the killing blow, and the chest falls dead.
I pull out my drum and give her a little beat and kind of a little fanfare to the epic kill and congratulate her. Huzzah!
Is there any way of making an investigation or some kind of insight to figure out if any of those other chests are mimics?
No, just go up and touch them, Cooge. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that worked great last time. We got you back, homie.
No,
They can't all be that way.
Oh, sure.
I just want to make sure we're not about to be ambushed again.
Is there any loots on the mimic?
You go ahead and make an investigation check.
I would
Berwelf, you
love
make a
to.
perception check.
Perception, okay.
Does the mimic body have a particular scent to it?
Scent. Oh, because you're a Tuger.
I
Bad.
accidentally rolled with-
Okay, the reason I was asking is because I was gonna get a sniff of the corpse and go up near, kind of semi
The
near
other
the
chest to
chest
see.
and
Okay.
smell see if they smell the same.
Yeah, you can make a perception check as well with advantage.
I already get
I
advantage
accidentally
anyway.
rolled.
There you go.
I accidentally rolled advantage, but I got a
That's
13
okay.
on the left.
I'll take your 13.
So 24.
Yes. So, as the giant tiger starts to kind of go past you, Berwelf, and makes its way up to the chests, giving a good sniff, you can ascertain that these chests go ahead and they smell different than the others. So the red chests smell odd.
Do they smell similar to the other chest, to the other one? 'Cause I specifically smelled that one and then went to go smell these ones.
Right. As a tiger, you would, if you got this nasty wrench from this mimic, using smell, you can go ahead and ask. Yeah, you can figure out that those red chests smell like mimics.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move forward here, kind of push, kind of gently nuzzle my way past Enna, and then I'm going to just hackles up and just get in a low growling and just growl, be teeth baring, to let them know that this is not there's still more.
by the way, I scratched the rep of your neck as you passed by.
With my perception check, I let everybody know that these chests are definitely not rocks.
What could I tell from my perception tech, seeing as Xynes can't say?
They're not rocks, and they look like 5 chests.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay
from
there,
my
hackles up and growling.
anything from my investigation come fruitful?
From your investigation, no, you can kind of look inside without really touching it, and it just kind of looks acidy and disgusting inside.
All right, then I'm gonna tarry on and come on over to the friends. Did you take off fairy fire, Boom?
I will. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, technically, it's still up because it's concentration up to a minute.
Oh,
but if
okay.
you're going to let it fall, I mean,
Yeah,
it
I'll
will
let
eventually
it
fall.
Until, yeah.
The problem is, I don't know if we would technically know which ones are which, or what she's trying to say to us. Is there a way we can check to receive that kind of information from her?
I mean, I can.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, hackles up, and I'm just kind of like growling, like, generally direction. I'm just going like, probably.
Well,
Probably like push the good
was-
ones over.
I mean,
Jabbed
I was next to her when she sniffed that mimic, and then she ran over to these chests and then hackled up. So I would assume that I'd be like, whoa, 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 hey guys, you know, a little wary here.
And I'll attack it.
I point this chest and then look at the tiger. Point at this chest and then look at the tiger.
Okay, so wait a second. What's that? Okay, so you guys are trying to ascertain which of these are mimics, and then
You
I
have
heard I
successfully.
attack it.
Yeah, I'm attacking in front of me because I know which ones are.
Kitty cat's got
Um,
bloodlust.
Yeah, I know which ones are gonna attack us. So I'm moving forward to attack this one right here.
Okay, then that's where we'll pick up next week. You are going to. I'll write a note. You are going to make an attack at one of the chests that smells funny.
Couldn't we just leave them alone?
I mean, we're kind of
We
stuck
can't
in here
know what
with
she
the.
does.
Yes, you could have, but it's too late.
Take the own attack if you mess with them.
Get your paws stuck to it.
No, because see, I saw Berwelf can get attacked, so I can swipe at the side.
Yeah.
What if the side is sticky?
You
How many
got that
attacks you
got?
crowbar, right?
I guess we'll find out, won't we? That stinking natural 20 on that crowbar, not cool, man. Not cool. Because
I'm
that
so
crowbar
happy.
was going to get stuck as well. Just so you know. But I'm like, oh, well, dang
Crow
it.
pellet.
My head was stuck in a mimic for 3 rounds.
Oh. If her crowbar would have failed, would I have been able to shock the mimic with shocking touch and get off, or no?
We
I don't know.
know.
We'll
don't
never. We'll find out.
I'm not
We'll
touching
find out.
another one. I can tell.
I don't know.
So is this gonna sate your constant need of accumulating loots?
Yeah, he's never gonna trust a chest again.
Or at least put like some piece of cloth on my hand to open it up, so that'll get stuck and not the hand.
I mean, everything was easier when you were trying to steal silver goblets, eh?
Why can everything be that easy?